Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today. And of course, I have a video here to talk about Avengers Doomsday's surprise casting, as they keep saying. And yeah, some parts of it are kind of a surprise. Some parts of it I'm actually excited for. Most of it, kind of don't care about, to be honest with you. As many people know, the MCU has not been in a great place for a while, but the idea of a new Avengers movie I am excited for. I just wish, the people we all knew would be there, like Chris Evans and so on, which I even made a video recently that they announced he was coming back to the MCU in some way. I don't really know if that's going to be this or the next Avengers film that's kind of tied to this called Secret Wars. Not really sure who's going to be in what, but I noticed some missing names for this reveal trailer that they did. It was like a video where they just showed a bunch of the actors' seats that they would sit in, and they went straight down the row, and then Robert Downey Jr. was sitting at the end because, of course, he's playing Doctor Doom. So the basic people that we all knew would probably be there. For example, Anthony Mackie, after this new Captain America movie I still haven't seen. I'm a little surprised that he's included in this brand new one, but it doesn't surprise me at the same time because that's the only Captain America we have right now. But I like Anthony Mackie. I just don't know if I like Falcon as Cap. Anyway, so you have him. You have Chris Hemsworth as the first name revealed on the list, which is really cool. I love Hemsworth. You have some other names here and there. I was surprised not to see, Chris Pratt or Tom Holland. Tom Hiddleston is going to be in this, which is a little tad bit odd, but I guess he still does the Loki TV show here and there. Maybe that's not as odd to other people as it is to me, somebody who does not watch those shows, but I don't know. Let's see, who else was there? Shimu Liu, whatever, Shang-Chi, which I could not give less of a flying shit upon the wall about him coming back. Not that he's a bad actor, I just don't give a shit about him being in this movie. And not a Shang-Chi guy at all, if you saw my review a while back. I saw it for the first time last year in 2024, and it was terrible. It was a terrible-ass movie. And if he's coming back, that worries me that Awkwafina will get to appear in a Avengers movie, and that's not what comic books need, man. So anyway, getting on to some of the big surprises here. Well, first off, the Fantastic Four, which this is not a big surprise, will be there. First steps will be out by then. This is scheduled for 2026? Something like that. But the Fantastic Four will be there. Pedro Pascal and Florence Pugh, Pug, whatever. I think I saw the two other guys' names too for Johnny Storm and what's his face? Because the one guy, is it Joseph Quinn? Is that his name from Stranger Things that's playing Johnny? He was listed towards the end of the list too. But not really sure how I feel about that. I'm not really particularly excited for First Steps to begin with. I didn't even make a video about the trailer stuff that came out, where we got an official trailer. Not really excited for it. The kind of new timeline of the 50s and 60s could be kind of cool. Outside of that, I don't really know if I give a shit about that either. I mean, it could be good, maybe, but I don't personally believe we'll ever have a good Fantastic Four film that mainstream audiences, at least, love, like in the MCU capacity. Now, towards the end of the list, one of the big things people were really excited about is that they began to play a little bit of an X-Men 90s cartoon theme song mixed in with the song they had playing while they showed all the chairs of the cast. The first name that popped up was Kelsey Grammer, Beast from the original X-Men franchise from the 2000s that I grew up on. That was kind of cool. Then as it went on, you saw a lot of other names that you know, like Ian McKellen, like Patrick Stewart. They're coming back, man. There was no Hugh Jackman, which I'm fine with. There was no Ryan Reynolds, which I'm sure he'll be in this in some capacity because of Deadpool and Wolverine, that future vision of him holding Thor. That'll either be here or it'll be Secret Wars. I don't know. I feel like it'll factor into here somehow, some way Deadpool will show up, but probably as a cameo. It'd be cool to have him in a main character role in an Avengers movie, but I don't know if you could pull that off and make people accept it without it being too in the way of the narrative, but still. So, that's all cool. By the end of the list, you start seeing people like James Marsden, which I lost my shit about. I was so excited to see James Marsden coming back. Of course, he played Cyclops back in the day. He doesn't really do much of anything anymore. And when I was growing up, I was a huge fan of Cyclops, and I was a huge fan of James Marsden as Cyclops, despite the misuse of him so much in the Bryan Singer films. He is the leader of the X-Men, and maybe they'll give him that chance to shine as that in this movie. I was surprised that he didn't come back for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm glad that maybe they're going to take a good idea of what Deadpool and Wolverine did. Not entirely in execution, but in its ideas of bringing people back, bringing back what-if characters like Blade and like Channing Tatum as Gambit, which never happened. I like that they're taking that idea and applying it to this movie. But there could also be the wrong lesson learned, because once again, Channing Tatum is going to be in this too. He's a name I forgot to mention. Coming back, I assume, as Gambit. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so I know that he's in this movie. Does he have to play Gambit? Because that was clearly like a goofy version of that character. And yeah, he was likable, but I don't want him like in the way. And if he's in this, that tells me that Deadpool has to be in this in some capacity, by the way. I don't know if I want that. But James Marsden being here, I'm super stoked for, man. I can't wait to see what they do with him. There's a lot of other names that are probably MCU regulars that I don't know of, from like Black Panther and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. But I'm not really the best with these side character names from the newer phases, the last couple of phases. Anything post-Endgame, I've not really been into all that heavy, aside from the obvious ones. But yeah, I don't want them to learn the wrong lesson and just fill up casting roles in this movie with people that we know and love, and people my age grew up loving, like James Marsden, like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, like Kelsey Grammer. I don't want them to fill up those spots with these guys and make them into parodies of what they used to be. They could be possibly learning the wrong lesson from Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine did not make a ton of money because of all the cameos and coolness with that. That was a nice feature. I would argue that's the majority of that movie. Despite liking it, I would argue that's the majority of what makes that movie so special, is all the people that came into it and came back for it. I still wish we had Ben Affleck as Daredevil, but it is what it is. There was no Charlie Cox announced for this film, which kind of surprised me, with Born Again being such a thing right now, which I have not watched that either. But I'm not really sure whether I trust this movie yet, because Deadpool and Wolverine I do think in some way is overhyped. It's a mess of a movie, despite loving it. And I bought a Blu-ray copy of it not too long ago. Maybe 2 or 3 months ago, somewhere in there. I bought it with some Christmas money. But I don't want them to learn the wrong lesson, like I said. I hate to keep repeating myself. But I have to nail this again and again. I hope that Disney is not looking at this as, oh, Deadpool was the cure, but really it's comedy that's the cure, and cameos that are the cure. That's not really what happened there. What made Deadpool fun was because, number one, we all wanted to see Hugh Jackman come back, but we also wanted to see Deadpool come back, even under a Disney banner, despite that being kind of worrisome. And I would argue, for the most part, they really pulled it off, even if it probably is the weakest of the Deadpool movies easily for me. But it was nice to see those two come back, working together. The movie had a lot of heart and soul for Wolverine's character towards the end. It was cool to see the costume and the mask and everything on him, despite all the CGI to make Hugh Jackman have muscular arms and shit, like the Natalie Portman type of a thing that happened there. Yeah, that was a thing. Just go ahead and accept it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited for this movie. I love the Avengers. I know Robert Downey Jr. is in this. I'm excited to see him back. But man, I don't know. I've been so nonchalant towards all of these movies and stuff for the last 5-6 years, aside from the big stuff, like I said, Spider-Man, Guardians, whatever. I just don't really trust them to make anything good, aside from Deadpool, obviously. But that was a mess, but it was still cool. This could be good. I'm a little worried. we've all been saying for a long time that the Fantastic Four and the X-Men should be brought in to make a really cool, wide-scale Avengers movie. Despite having that over and over again with Avengers movies previously, like with Thanos and whatever. But this could be not what we want. Just saying. That's something to keep in the back of your brain. You know what I mean? But anyway, are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? I'm mildly interested in it. The casting makes it cool. It's good to see a lot of the guys come back from when I was growing up, especially my boy James Marsden, who I love. But outside of that, I don't know, man. It could be a giant swing and a miss. It could be a big mess, bigger of a mess than Deadpool and Wolverine, having these timelines cross over, having these different characters cross over and stuff. Are we going to have Hugh Jackman in here for a scene where he and James Marsden have some kind of reuniting banter of some sort? That could be cool, but maybe that's a Secret Wars thing. And even though, like, Tom Holland's not in this, Hugh Jackman is apparently not in this either, I'm confident that Secret Wars will have, like, Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Captain America, the OG Chris Evans Cap, Thor, maybe Black Widow, because I think they rumored she was coming back too. I'm a little surprised not to see Mark Ruffalo's name on one of these chairs. Despite, obviously, people like me, I'm not a fan of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. The Hulk design, yeah, but Mark Ruffalo, not really. I'm surprised not to see his name anywhere on this. After doing She-Hulk, he didn't get brought back to do this? What? Are you crazy? He's such a great actor, apparently. Not really. Anyway, what do you think about all these casting choices? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to suck? Do you think it's going to be a bad movie, a good movie? I'd love to hear everything you have to say down below. What was the most surprising comeback you saw here? In one respect, James Marsden was my pick for that, but I'm very excited to see Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen come back, but they are old AF, bro. That was probably the biggest surprise to me. It was surprising to see them come back for Doctor Strange 2, or at least Patrick Stewart did, not Ian McKellen. But to see these two men come back again for this, it's like, what the fuck? You know? I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts about everything down below. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.